There's a lot of talk about AI and how they will take our jobs. So what if we can use it to actually get a new job? Let's see if we can actually put it to some use. There are lots of tools online that claim to do X or Y, but I personally tend to think that these ChatGPT or large language models, they are just help to augment what we're already doing and to make us do things, the laborious stuff a lot faster, and maybe not even doing them at all. So when you look at a job interview, there's a certain thing that we need to do in order to get the job. And let's talk how AI can help us in this process, or help us at least get a better high-paying job. So the number one thing is where you start off with just by looking at all the different jobs out there. Like for example, if you're a software engineer, you're looking for front-end role or the back-end role. And what we usually do is we start off with getting a bunch of jobs, look at the requirements, and be like, oh, okay, so within back-end engineer job roles, there are like these specific technology, there are these things. And you look at like 50 or hundreds of them and it just seems very tired and just all becomes so much like, oh my God, do I even know all of this stuff? What you can do is like just copy and paste, like literally whatever job posting you came across, just copy and paste it in a notepad, save it somewhere, and literally just ask the LLM to actually summarize it for you and extract the key qualifications or skills that are needed from rather than just job expertise. So then it just becomes a lot more manageable. So imagine doing this for like 50 jobs or 100 jobs, even thousands of job adverts that are there. If you were to do this manually, that would have taken you ages, right? But you can chunk it up into different like segments, like wait, 10 job descriptions, analyze this, 10 job descriptions, analyze this. You can create a program for this, but honestly, like you can just break it down a little bit, and then that will really fast track this process. And then it just makes it so much easier to understand, like, okay, what are the skill set that are requiring for these specific jobs? And you look over 100 jobs, and it makes you a little more confident. Suddenly it doesn't seem so scary anymore because you know exactly what they're looking for. But that is just part of it, because sometimes job descriptions are vague. They're like, oh, we need like 10 different things. That's often not the reality, or maybe it is, or maybe it isn't. They don't specify exactly how much of those 10 different things you would actually be required to know. Like you can't be an expert at every single thing, right? Maybe sometimes you just need to know a little bit specific things, but that's something that you can actually figure out as well. So, and the way you do that is by looking at the company. What is exactly the company doing? What kind of projects they're working on? And you can sort of like guesstimate which technologies are they exactly using and how likely are they be able to use. Of course, the best thing is to reach out to the company and talk to a person on LinkedIn who is working there. And if they're willing to tell you, they will be able to tell you their tech stack and a little bit more of what technologies and tools they're using. And you can use those preparing for your application. Exactly. The second thing that AI can really help you with is like researching on the company. When a company posts a job advert, there are like hundreds of people that apply straight away. And what differentiates you from the rest of the applicants is the research on the company and how well you're suited to their job requirement. Every job is different and it just varies on company to company. Most likely the company wants someone who knows what their company is, who is familiar with the technologies they use. And the only way to know that is through researching the company. So where LLMs can be really useful, where you can feed in their blog posts, their website information, and just have this information ready and see like, okay, try to make sense of it. And if they have a social like Facebook or Twitter, just literally copy all the tweets and you put it to the LLM and just be like, hey, let me analyze this, ask the questions, try to use the LLM to actually process the information so that you can get some key insights from those companies, and you can figure out what their culture is, what their values are, and it sort of helps you understand like how is it like working for this company, and also what exactly they're looking for. And that would really differentiate you from the rest of the applicants. Number 3 is interview prep. So if you're lucky enough to get called for an interview, that's a really cool thing. The first and foremost, you can use large language models through simulate or just to pretend there's a simulate a mock interview questions where they can ask like, hey, here's what the company's values and core propositions are. This is the tech stack they use. This is my experience. Now generate a list of like 10 different questions that are really hard that may come up in the interview scenario. And you sort of use that to help you prepare for these answers. And although these are tough questions and maybe there's some edge cases, you can just help stimulate your brain, help practice speaking, and you can just think about like what other questions can actually come up. Also, you can use this to tailoring your resume as well, like for next applications that you're working on, because chances are if you're applying to similar roles, they require similar things, not exactly the same, but similar things. And that will be actually pretty useful, right? The best thing is to just refine your responses because every question that they ask, they're expecting a very good response, a very short, precise response, and you can help refine your answers to those specific questions or some general questions like what do you want to do in 5 years, or what's your tech stack like? Tell me about your history, or what is your experience in XYZ. You can really help refine your responses and make sure practice them enough that they just become automatic. And LLMs can actually help you in this by just chatting to it. This is how you can get a job using large language models. There are a lot of people out there that say that, oh, hey, just use our tool and everything will be solved. You'll be guaranteed a job, or yeah, it's going to help you take over. I don't think that's possible. LLMs are tools, and if you use them very effectively, you'll be able to work a lot faster, a lot better, and hopefully make your life easier and land that dream job that you always wanted. Till next time.